Nathan Drake strode into the headquarters of United Terra, his footsteps echoing in the grand atrium of New Metropolis. The city thrived with technological marvels, towering skyscrapers made of shimmering alloys, and bustling streets filled with diverse inhabitants. Despite the vibrant exterior, a cloud of urgency loomed over his mission. Nathan was summoned for an urgent meeting, one that could determine the future of humanity. He entered the command room where Earth's top leaders awaited. President Elena Martinez stood at the center, her expression grim and determined. "Nathan, we have a situation," she began without preamble. "The Galactic Federation has issued an ultimatum." Nathan's brow furrowed. "What do they want?" Elena activated a holographic display, and the stern visage of Vorik, the council spokesperson, appeared. Earth must surrender significant territories and resources or face eradication. Vorik's voice resonated through the room, cold and unyielding. Nathan watched the transmission intently. As the hologram faded, he turned to Elena. "This isn't just about resources. They're afraid of us." Elena nodded. "Exactly. They fear our potential. That's why we need you, Nathan. You're our best negotiator and strategist. Find a way to turn this around." Nathan took a deep breath. "I'll need a team. Dr. Lila Carter and Captain Jack O'Neill." "Already arranged," Elena replied. "You leave for Viridia immediately." On board the sleek diplomatic cruiser, Nathan briefed his team. Dr. Lila Carter, a renowned scientist with expertise in alien technologies, adjusted her glasses. "The Council's demands are extreme. We need leverage," she said. Captain Jack O'Neill, a decorated military officer, clenched his fists. "We should prepare for the worst. Diplomacy might fail." Nathan nodded. "Agreed. But first, we try to negotiate." Lila, analyze any weaknesses in the Council structure. Jack, ensure we have a contingency plan. As they approached Viridia, the neutral planet where the Council convened, Nathan reviewed their strategy. They had one chance to change the Council's mind. In the Grand Hall of the Galactic Federation, Nathan stood before the assembled representatives. Vorik's piercing gaze met his. "Have you come to surrender?" Vorik asked, his tone icy. Nathan remained calm. "We seek a peaceful resolution. Earth wishes to coexist, not conquer." Vorik sneered. "Your expansion says otherwise. Our growth is driven by survival, not aggression. We propose a dialogue to address your concerns." The council members murmured among themselves. Vorik's expression hardened. "Your words are hollow. Prove your sincerity." Dr. Carter stepped forward, presenting data that demonstrated Earth's contributions to galactic peace and technology. "We've shared our advancements and sought alliances, not dominance." Vorik remained unmoved. "Actions speak louder. You have one cycle to comply or face the consequences." As the council adjourned, Nathan's mind raced. They needed a breakthrough and fast. Back at their quarters, Lila shared her findings. "There are factions within the council that disagree with Vorik's hardline stance. We might have allies." Nathan's eyes narrowed. "We need to reach out to them discreetly." Lila, make contact. Jack, enhance our security. The following day, Nathan received a message from an unexpected source. Ambassador Mira, a member of the council known for her diplomatic approach, wished to speak privately. In a secluded corner of the vast council complex, Mira revealed the council's internal struggles. "Many of us do not support Vorik's ultimatum, but fear his influence." Nathan saw an opportunity. "If we can rally enough support, we can force a reconsideration. Will you help us?" Mira nodded. "I will, but we must be cautious. Vorik spies are everywhere." With newfound hope, Nathan and his team set their plan into motion. They needed to act quickly, leveraging their new ally and preparing for the inevitable confrontation. As the chapter closed, the stakes were clear. Humanity stood on the brink, and the path forward was fraught with peril. Nathan knew that their next steps would determine not only their fate but the future of countless worlds. The Council's ultimatum loomed large, and humanity's response would shape the destiny of the galaxy. The diplomatic cruiser glided silently through the vast expanse of space, its sleek form reflecting the distant stars. Inside, the atmosphere was tense as Nathan Drake and his team prepared for their crucial mission on Viridia. The stakes were incredibly high. Failure was not an option. Nathan stood at the central console, examining the latest intelligence reports. Dr. Lila Carter, with her ever-present glasses perched on her nose, was busy analyzing alien technology data on her portable device. Captain Jack O'Neill, a seasoned military officer with a stern demeanor, meticulously inspected their security protocols. Nathan called his team to attention. "All right, everyone. We've reviewed the Council's demands and our strategy, but let's go over it one more time." Dr. Carter looked up, her expression serious. "The Council's ultimatum is a pretext. They're testing our resolve and capability. We need to show them that we are not a threat but an essential ally." Jack nodded, his face grim. "And if diplomacy fails, we need to be ready to defend ourselves. The Federation's military might is formidable." Nathan took a deep breath. "That's why we're here. To negotiate first, but prepare for the worst. Lila, your task is to find any structural weaknesses in the Council's arguments or their unity. Jack, you'll ensure our security and have contingency plans in place." As they approached Viridia, the neutral planet known for its peace talks and diplomatic conventions, Nathan couldn't help but feel the weight of their mission. This was not just about Earth's survival, but about proving humanity's worthiness in the galaxy. The cruiser docked smoothly at the Viridia spaceport. The team disembarked, greeted by a cool, temperate climate and the sight of towering, crystalline structures. The architecture of Viridia was a blend of natural beauty and advanced engineering, a testament to the planet's role as a beacon of diplomacy. They were escorted to the Council complex, a grand structure that stood as a symbol of galactic unity. Inside, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Nathan and his team were led to the Grand Hall where the Galactic Federation Council convened. As they entered, all eyes turned to them. Nathan's gaze locked with Vorix, the Council spokesperson whose ultimatum had brought them here. Vorix's eyes were as cold as ever, betraying no hint of emotion. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," Vorik began, his voice echoing through the hall. "Have you come to surrender?" Nathan stepped forward, his posture calm and assertive. "We have come to seek a peaceful resolution. Earth wishes to coexist, not conquer." Vorik's sneer was barely concealed. "Your expansion says otherwise. Words are cheap, Nathan Drake. Show us actions, Dr." Carter moved to Nathan's side, presenting a holographic display of Earth's contributions to galactic peace and technology. "We have shared our advancements and sought alliances, not dominance. Our growth is driven by survival, not aggression." The council members murmured among themselves. Vorik's expression remained unchanged. "Your actions thus far have done little to convince us. You have one cycle to comply or face the consequences." As the council adjourned, Nathan's mind raced with the urgency of their predicament. Back in their quarters, they reconvened to strategize their next move. Dr. Carter shared her latest findings, her voice tinged with hope. "There are factions within the council that disagree with Vorik's hardline stance. We might have potential allies." Nathan's eyes narrowed. "We need to reach out to them discreetly. Lila, can you establish contact?" She nodded. "I'll use encrypted channels to avoid detection." Jack added, "I'll enhance our security measures. We can't afford any slip-ups." The following day, Nathan received an unexpected message. Ambassador Mira, a member of the council known for her diplomatic approach, requested a private meeting. Nathan saw this as a glimmer of hope amidst the looming threat, a secluded corner of the council complex. Mira revealed the internal discord within the council. "Many of us do not support Vorik's ultimatum, but we fear his influence." Nathan seized the opportunity. "If we can rally enough support, we can force a reconsideration. Will you help us?" Mira nodded cautiously. "I will, but we must be discreet. Vorik spies are everywhere." With Myra's tentative support, Nathan and his team set their plan into motion. They had to act swiftly and tactfully, leveraging their new ally and preparing for the inevitable confrontation. As the chapter closed, the stakes were clearer than ever. Humanity's fate hung in the balance, and their response to the Council's ultimatum would shape the future of countless worlds. Nathan knew that every decision they made in the coming days would be critical to their survival and the destiny of the galaxy. The neutral planet Viridia, with its serene landscapes and towering crystalline structures, seemed a far cry from the tensions simmering within the Galactic Federation's council complex. Nathan Drake, Dr. Lila Carter, and Captain Jack O'Neill knew that time was of the essence. They had secured a cautious ally in Ambassador Mira, but the task of rallying more support against Vorik's ultimatum loomed large. Back in their quarters, Lila worked tirelessly, her fingers flying over her data pad. We've identified potential allies within the council, but approaching them without arousing suspicion is critical. Nathan nodded, deep in thought. We need to be strategic. If we make one wrong move, Vorik will tighten his grip, and our chances will slip away. Jack, always practical and vigilant, was already outlining a security protocol. We'll need encrypted communications and secure meeting points. We can't afford any leaks. Nathan agreed. Let's prioritize our targets. Lila, you reach out to Counselor Theron. He's known for his fairness and might be open to reason. Jack, you handle Counselor Asha. Her people have faced oppression, and she might be sympathetic to our cause. Lila adjusted her glasses, determination shining in her eyes. I'll use a decoy signal to mask our transmissions. It should buy us some time. Later that evening, Lila received a secure message from Theron, agreeing to meet discreetly. The rendezvous was set in an old observatory on the outskirts of the complex, a place where the stars aligned for quiet contemplation rather than political intrigue. Nathan and Lila arrived at the observatory under the cover of darkness. Theron, a reptilian alien with wise, piercing eyes, awaited them. Thank you for meeting us, Nathan began, his tone respectful but urgent. Earth does not seek conflict. Vorik's demands are unreasonable, and we believe there is a better way forward. Theron studied them thoughtfully. I've reviewed your data. While I am wary of Vorik's aggression, I need more than words to defy him. What can you offer? Lila stepped forward, presenting a small device. This is a prototype of Earth's latest defensive technology. It can neutralize energy-based weaponry. With your support, we can produce these on a larger scale and equip our allies. Theron's eyes flickered with interest. Impressive. But technology alone won't sway the council. You need more allies. Nathan nodded. We're reaching out to others. We need your support to ensure they listen. Theron pondered for a moment. Very well. I will help you, but remember, if we fail, the consequences will be dire. Encouraged by Theron's tentative support, Nathan and Lila returned to their quarters. Jack was already waiting, having secured a similar meeting with Counselor Asha. The following day, the team split up to approach different council members. Nathan met with Counselor Varen, known for his pragmatism and strategic mind. Counselor Varen, I come with a proposition that could change the course of this conflict. Join us, and we can challenge Vorik's dominance. Varen eyed Nathan warily. You're asking me to risk everything. Why should I trust you? Nathan's voice was steady. Because the alternative is worse. Vorik's path leads to annihilation. Together, we can forge a path to peace. Meanwhile, Lila met with Counselor Elda, a respected figure known for her wisdom. Counselor Elda, humanity seeks allies, not enemies. We offer our technology and our commitment to a peaceful galaxy. Elda's expression softened. I have long feared Vorik's aggression. If you speak the truth, you will have my support. Jack, on the other hand, engaged with Counselor Ral, a fierce warrior with a strong sense of justice. Ral, your people have faced oppression. Stand with us, and we can end Vorik's tyranny. Ral's eyes gleamed with determination. I will consider your proposal, but know this, I fight for justice, not politics. As the team reconvened, the results of their efforts began to show. Theron's influence had opened doors, and their persuasive arguments were beginning to sway the council members. The mini-climax unfolded as Nathan, Lila, and Jack reported back to Theron. We have their attention, Nathan said. Now we need to unify our message and present a solid front. Theron nodded, a hint of respect in his eyes. You've done well. The tide is turning, but this is just the beginning. Prepare yourselves, for the real battle is yet to come. With the promise of support from key council members, Nathan's team felt a renewed sense of hope. The path ahead was still perilous, but they had taken a crucial step toward altering the course of their destiny. The fight for humanity's survival had truly begun. And the next phase of their mission would determine not just their fate, but the future of the galaxy itself. With alliances forming and a glimmer of hope on the horizon, Nathan Drake and his team prepared for the next phase of their mission. They were back in their hidden base, a former maintenance hub deep within the council complex. The air was tense, the gravity of their situation pressing heavily on everyone's shoulders. Dr. Lila Carter spread out schematics on a makeshift table, her voice steady but urgent. We need to deploy these defensive prototypes to our allies immediately. They're our best chance at neutralizing the Council's superior firepower. Nathan nodded, his gaze intense. Agreed, but first we need to solidify our coalition. Theran, Varen, Elda, and Ral's support is crucial, but we need a unified strategy to present to them. Captain Jack O'Neill, ever the practical one, spoke up. We can't afford any leaks. Vorik spies are everywhere. We need a secure communication network. Lila nodded. I'm on it. We'll use encrypted channels and decentralized relays to avoid detection. Nathan's communicator buzzed, breaking the brief silence. It was a message from Theran requesting an urgent meeting. Looks like we're about to find out if our efforts are paying off. Let's move. The team navigated the labyrinthine corridors of the complex, arriving at a discreet location where Theran and the other council members awaited. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Theran wasted no time. We've received word that Vorik is preparing a preemptive strike against Earth. We must act now. Nathan stepped forward, his voice calm yet commanding. We have the technology to defend ourselves, but we need your support to distribute it and coordinate our efforts. Together, we can present a formidable opposition. Counselor Varen, ever the skeptic, raised an eyebrow. And what's to stop Vorik from crushing us all once we reveal our intentions? Nathan met his gaze steadily. Our strength lies in unity and surprise. Vorik expects compliance, not resistance. If we strike strategically, we can catch him off guard and force a negotiation. Counselor Elda nodded thoughtfully. Nathan is right. We must be bold and decisive, but we must also ensure the safety of our civilians. Jack interjected. That's why we've prepared evacuation plans for non-combatants. We need your help to implement them swiftly. Ral, the warrior, clenched his fist in agreement. I stand with you. My people have suffered under Vorik's tyranny long enough. It's time we fight back. The room buzzed with agreement, and Nathan felt a surge of determination. They had the beginnings of a rebellion, but the real challenge lay ahead. Theron's voice cut through the chatter. We need to synchronize our attacks. Timing is everything. We strike at dawn. The plan was set. As the council members dispersed to prepare their forces, Nathan's team returned to their base. The gravity of their situation was not lost on any of them. Lila double-checked the encryption on their communications. Everything's set. Our allies are ready, and the prototypes are being distributed. Nathan took a deep breath, steeling himself for what was to come. Good. Now we wait for dawn. As the first light of day began to creep into the sky, Nathan's communicator buzzed again. It was the run. It's time. May fortune favor us all. Nathan looked at his team, each member a pillar of strength and resolve. This is it. We move out. With their plan in motion and allies in place, Nathan and his team set out to face Vorik's forces. The dawn brought not just a new day, but the promise of a fierce battle for freedom. The fate of their worlds depended on their courage and the strength of their newly formed coalition. They moved swiftly through the corridors, their movements precise and coordinated. Each step brought them closer to the Council's central command center, where Vorik's influence was strongest. The element of surprise was on their side, but the risk was immense. As they approached the heavily guarded entrance, Jack took the lead, signaling for the team to halt. I'll disable the security system. Be ready to move as soon as it's down. Nathan watched as Jack worked with deft precision, bypassing the complex security protocols. Within moments, the path was clear. They moved in, encountering resistance almost immediately. Council enforcers, loyal to Vorik, engaged them with fierce determination. The ensuing battle was intense, each side fighting with everything they had. Nathan's military training kicked in, his movements fluid and strategic. Lila, we need that exit route. Lila's fingers flew over her control panel. Almost there. Got it. This way. The team retreated through a hidden passage just as the enforcers broke through their final defenses. They navigated the labyrinthine corridors of the complex, each step bringing them closer to safety. They emerged in an obscure part of the complex, catching their breath. Nathan's mind was already racing ahead. We need to find a new base of operations. Lila, did you secure the data? Lila nodded, her expression resolute. All files are intact. We've got what we need to continue. Jack surveyed their surroundings. We can't stay here. Vorik's men will be hunting us. Nathan turned to his team, his resolve unshaken. We move now. We find the run and the others, and we make our stand. Vorik won't see us coming. As they slipped into the shadows, Nathan knew this was just the beginning of their struggle. They had taken a significant risk, but the alternative was unthinkable. The fight for humanity's survival had truly begun, and the stakes had never been higher. Nathan Drake and his team regrouped at their new hidden base, a secluded warehouse on the outskirts of the council complex. The dawn of their rebellion had begun, and every second counted. The sense of urgency was palpable as they made final preparations for the upcoming battle against Vorik's forces. Dr. Lila Carter was busy fine-tuning the defensive prototypes. She adjusted her glasses and spoke to the group, her voice filled with determination. These devices are our best shot at neutralizing the Council's energy-based weaponry. We need to ensure they're distributed to all our allies before the attack. Nathan nodded, his expression serious. Therion, Varen, Elda, and Ral have mobilized their forces. We need to coordinate with them and strike in unison. Our window of opportunity is narrow. Captain Jack O'Neill, always alert and ready, chimed in. We also need to secure our communication channels. Vorik spies will be looking for any sign of our plans. Lila, can you handle that? Lila gave a determined nod. Already on it. I've set up encrypted channels and decentralized relays. We should be able to communicate without detection. As Lila worked on securing their communications, Nathan's communicator buzzed with a message from their end. We're in position, ready to move on your command. Nathan took a deep breath, feeling the weight of leadership pressing down on him. This is it, team. We've prepared for this moment. Let's make it count. The team gathered their gear and moved out, navigating through the labyrinthine corridors of the complex. The sound of distant explosions and blaster fire echoed through the halls, a grim reminder of the battle raging outside. As they approached the rendezvous point, Nathan signaled for the team to halt. He peeked around the corner and saw Theron and his group waiting. They were heavily armed and ready for action. Nathan stepped forward and shook Theron's hand. Good to see you, Theron. Is everyone in position? Theron nodded. Varen, Elda, and Ral's forces are ready. We strike on your command. Nathan turned to his team and the assembled allies. All right, everyone. This is it. We hit them hard and fast. Our goal is to disable their command center and force Vorik to the negotiating table. Let's move. The combined forces of the rebellion moved swiftly through the complex, their steps echoing in unison. They encountered resistance almost immediately. Vorik's enforcers were well-trained and heavily armed, but the rebels fought with a fierce determination born from the desire for freedom. Nathan led the charge, his blaster firing with precision. Jack, take point. Lila, stay close and keep those prototypes ready. Jack surged forward, his combat instincts honed from years of experience. He neutralized enemy combatants with ruthless efficiency, clearing the path for the others. Lila, meanwhile, distributed the defensive devices to the allies, ensuring they had the means to counter Vorik's advanced weaponry. As they pushed deeper into the complex, the fighting intensified. Explosions rocked the corridors, and the air was thick with the smell of ozone and smoke. The rebels pressed on, their resolve unwavering despite the fierce resistance. Suddenly, an alarm blared, and the lights flickered. Nathan's communicator crackled to life with a frantic message from Varen. They're on to us. We've got heavy resistance at our flank. Need backup. Nathan's mind raced as he considered their options. Jack, take a squad and support Varen. Lila, stay with me. We need to secure the command center. Jack nodded and led a group of fighters down a side corridor. The sound of blaster fire grew fainter as they moved out of sight. Nathan and Lila continued forward, their steps quick and purposeful. They reached the entrance to the command center, heavily guarded by Vorik's elite soldiers. Nathan signaled for Lila to deploy the defensive prototypes. "Get ready. We're going in." Lila activated the devices, creating a shimmering field of energy that neutralized the guards' blasters. With their weapons rendered useless, the guards were quickly overwhelmed by the rebels. Nathan kicked open the door to the command center and stormed in, his blaster raised. Vorik stood at the far end of the room, surrounded by his officers. His expression was one of cold fury. "Nathan Drake," Vorik sneered, "I should have known you'd be behind this rebellion." Nathan kept his blaster trained on Vorik. "It's over, Vorik. Surrender now, and we can end this without further bloodshed." Vorik's eyes blazed with defiance. "You underestimate me, Drake. I'll never surrender to the likes of you." Before Nathan could respond, Vorik activated a hidden panel on his console. The room filled with a high-pitched whine as a powerful energy field surrounded him and his officers. Lila's eyes widened in alarm. "Nathan, that's an energy shield. Our blasters won't penetrate it." Nathan gritted his teeth. "Then we'll find another way. We're not done yet." The battle for the command center had begun, and the fate of the rebellion hung in the balance. The high-pitched whine of Vorik's energy shield filled the command center, casting an eerie glow over the room. Nathan Drake and Dr. Lila Carter exchanged a tense glance, realizing that their mission had hit an unexpected obstacle. The rest of the rebels fanned out around the room, weapons ready but unable to penetrate the shimmering barrier. Vorik stood smugly behind his shield, a sneer curling his lips. "You've come so far only to fail, Drake. You can't touch me now." Finally, Zara shouted over the din of battle. "It's done. Get ready." Lila activated the sequence Zara had programmed, and the room was filled with a blinding flash of light as the power source overloaded. The energy shield around Vorik flickered and then collapsed, leaving him and his officers exposed. Nathan didn't hesitate. He rushed forward, blaster aimed directly at Vorik. "It's over, Vorik. Surrender now." Vorik's eyes blazed with fury, but he knew he was beaten. He raised his hands slowly, signaling his surrender. The room fell silent as the last of Vorik's soldiers were subdued by the rebels. Nathan kept his blaster trained on Vorik as he spoke into his communicator. "All units, this is Drake. The command center is secure. Vorik has surrendered." Cheers erupted from the rebels as the news spread. They had done it. Against all odds, they had taken down the tyrant who had oppressed them for so long. Lila approached Nathan, a relieved smile on her face. "We did it, Nathan. We actually did it." Nathan nodded, his expression a mix of exhaustion and triumph. "Yes, we did. But this is just the beginning. We still have a lot of work to do to rebuild and ensure lasting peace." As they secured Vorik and his officers, Nathan couldn't help but feel a sense of hope for the future. The battle had been won, but the fight for true freedom and unity was just beginning. With his team by his side, Nathan was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead.